Cyber Rodeo recap and TeslaCon and the meet and greet. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. A big thanks to my newest Patreons, Armand, Bruce, and S. Garner. I sure appreciate your decision to help support the channel. And of course, if you're watching this on Friday, you're watching the full version on My Tesla Live, the second channel up there listed. Yep. Or it's whichever version it says on the screen right now. This could be the condensed version that goes out over the weekend. So let's just start with the meet and greet. This was so much fun. The meet and greet was put together because I didn't know if there was going to be any events. I had reached out to TeslaCon, to the Tesla Texas Austin Owners Club, and said, hey, you doing anything? I'd love to be part of it. I'd love to help out. Whatever you got going on, let's work together. And then I never heard back. And I sent them a message on Twitter and on email. Didn't hear back, so I just assumed nothing was going on. Started scheduling this guy, and then was notified by one of their sponsors. Oh, actually, they are doing something. It just hasn't been announced yet. So I changed my date and all that. But that was a paid event, and it sold out. And then there's the main event, which also sold out. Was very difficult. Look at that. Free Cybertruck. How cool. But this event was awesome. We had Bear's Workshop, who you might have seen there a second ago. Dr. Know-It-All was there, of course. Very cool. Misinformation by his side. Joe Tetmeyer. So many cool people. And we actually had all the Texas drone pilots. So Joe was there. Jeff was there. Randy from Terrafactory, Texas was there. Jack from Texas Terrafactory was there. Brian Rashetsky was there. Brad Sloan said he was going to be there, but it was very busy and crowded, so I don't know if he actually made it. So it was a lot of fun. Ellie in Space showed up. That was unexpected. And, oh, what fun. There were just so many cool people. But there's a point to this that I'm getting to. I'll get there in a minute. And it has to do with why this is important. Yeah, people showed up with endless Teslas and rental cars because they're from out of town. But yeah, it was so wild. There's Bear. There's Brian Rashetsky. Just a lot of fun. And these are so many cool people that you just love to meet, love to see. And it went really, really well. And for those asking, there were a lot of people who asked at the time, did you cover your budget? The budget was covered. Thank you guys for your support. It was awesome. So it was just a lot of fun. And the people were just amazing. And this is early on before it got mobbed. I figured I'd get there nice and early. You know, it starts at noon. I'll get there 10:15, have some time to set up, chat with my event planners and all that, get it all going. This is well before noon. So there was probably 50 to 70 people there at noon. Oh, it was so wild. And look at that. Famous for a day. How cool is that? How cool is that? Huh. Ah, very cool. Then, of course, was the Cyber Rodeo. This is a Patreon exclusive. You're not missing much. It's just more street scene with the new DJI Pocket Cam. Man, this thing it's so silky smooth. It's amazing what it does. It does a great job. Oh, very cool. You can see me there. Very cool. Anyway, that's just walking around. Oh, of course. So, there was, the point I'm saying here is, when I walked up and down the line, I would ask people, why did you come here? Why are you at a factory that you're not even allowed inside of? And, well, I like Tesla. Do you? I mean, I do too. But there's a lot of things. I mean, I like cheesecake, but I'm not going to Cheesecake Factory if they told me they're booked solid for the night. I'll leave. I'm not interested. One guy said, well, I'm a manufacturing engineer. I build these machines that make all of these kinds of things work. I said, wow, so you'd go to any factory opening? He goes, maybe. I said, if Ford opened theirs, would you go? He said, maybe not. I said, if Ford opened and you didn't have a ticket, would you go? He said, definitely not. What I'm getting at is, Tesla's different, and Tesla fans are different. We're cut different. We're built different. Our devotion goes a little deeper. So if you're worried that the stock is inflated, maybe it is. But these are people who are holding, and I mean holding for good, for the foreseeable future. So the main event, I did not get in. And if you're going to watch videos from inside, the gold standard is Sandy. Because Sandy knows what everything is. When he looks at stuff, it's not like, you or me looking at stuff. We know what we're looking at. Sandy really knows what he's looking at. He's assessing. This is all professional. This is all as close to an insider's perspective as you're going to get. If you're going to watch only one, watch Sandy's. Because he's talking about all the stuff. Now, I have to confess, I have not watched all of them. You'd think I would have. But the coverage is already there, and I don't know what I could add to it without having been there myself, without putting in 11 kajillion hours. And I got a lot of stuff I'm already working on, so I'm going to keep working on that. Now, here's the thing. Why let people in at all? Why handpick who gets to go in? Watch Jordan's. Because Jordan Giesecke is a masterclass in how this is done. Jordan also knows what he's looking at. And Jordan Giesecke, I don't have to tell you guys who he is. If you're here, you know. But Jordan got to see what's going on in there and make professional assessments, which he just added to his existing videos. That's why you add someone like him to your invite list. I don't remember if he got in on his own. I think he got in as a +1, which is a bit weird. But that's what happens when you don't have a PR department. And if you're not remembering who he is, boom, that's Jordan Giesecke. It was wonderful meeting him. It was so cool. I hung back in line. And I was like, oh, I don't want to. And he saw me, and it was wonderful. Great guy. And then the following day was TeslaCon, which is where this was shot. And TeslaCon had a lot of guest speakers. Tickets were only $20, and for $20, it was a heck of a show. And that's in part because it wasn't designed to make a profit, although whatever leftover money went to charity. It was designed to make for a great experience. And they've gotten a lot of heat on social media about the event being a disaster. But I was there, and I will tell you it was not. In person, it was fantastic. It was a masterclass in how to hold an event like this. And I've seen Fudsters proclaim, well, this is just a Tesla fanboy circle jerk. Yeah, it is. That's why we're there, man. Well, if I wouldn't go because I don't like some of the guests. I don't, well, great. Bruce Burnworth from Health Soil Biomes. I don't care about that. Really? Maybe you would if you watched him speak, because he's he's a heck of a character for one thing, and what he's talking about is interesting, to me at least. If my wife had gone, she'd have fallen asleep during the speaker panel with Sandy and Jordan Giesecke, moderated by Farzad Masbahi. That was worth twice the price of admission by itself. From the technical end at home, yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess. But the streaming was only considered a few days later. I mean, like literally days before the event did they start addressing how the streaming would work. And I spoke with Anwar Beck, who is the vice president, I believe, of the Tesla Owners Club of Austin. And he asked me to bring my gear, just in case, so I did. But he didn't want to give me the exclusive because it would create an appearance of playing favorites, which is weird. I mean, all of these are favorites, but and they ended up flying some guy in from California who did his best, but they didn't do much to prepare for it. And the site does say that they will be releasing the full video soon, but I don't know if they will, because there are some pretty massive flaws in the feed that will be difficult to sort out. I offered to help. I told them I know what's wrong with it, but I have not heard back. So that's unfortunate. But hey, man, that's how it goes. So yeah, TeslaCon, a lot of fun. Some really great panelists, some fascinating people, and as well. I don't care about this guy. Who's that? He's the president of the Austin Owners Club. Well, what does he know? Well, he knows how to bring all these people together and put on a $20 show that's really good and really compelling. Emmett Peppers was there. It was great. Bradford Ferguson. It was super cool. And yeah, Gally from Hyperchange. So many really awesome, talented, amazing people. Unfortunately, I didn't get to rub elbows as much as I wanted because I was working. And I didn't get into the VIP lounge, which is disappointing because that's where all the elbows were. And I didn't really get to enjoy it as a spectator so much because I spent most of the time trying to troubleshoot the audio. But that's not their fault. I don't think, anyway. I don't think it is. Although Warren did say, Warren sent me an email saying that TeslaCon, that the Owners Club was very upset with me for holding a meet and greet, even though it was on a different day with different guests, while their event was sold out. I don't know how credible that is. They were friendly to me. They weren't hostile. I don't know what kind of rational adult would be upset. He said, well, they were upset because you didn't reach out to them and you kind of stepped on their toes by having an event. But I did reach out to them 3 separate times, 3 separate ways, through the website, Twitter, email. And then I eventually did hear back from them 2 days before, and I offered to help. I'm always offering to help. So, I don't know. If there's hard feelings in Texas, let me know what to do to fix them, because I think at one point, this guy was like, man, he was looking at the stage, he's like, whoa, what a panel. I go, yeah, I hate these guys. And I'm like, and the joke is, I don't. There isn't a single turd in the punch bowl. And it was a big punch bowl. And it was like, just the coolest. It was just the coolest. So the moral of that story is, if you go there, if you go to one of these events and there's an event like TeslaCon, you must go. You must. You must. Even if just to meet Dave Lee and Gally and Emmett and Bradford and all these just amazing people. It was really, really cool. Yeah. So, I don't know. But again, the moral of the story is Tesla fans are cut from a different cloth. The only other brand I've ever seen with any kind of loyalty was Harley Davidson. And I'll guarantee you, Harley fans probably don't know who the CEO is. And if they do, they don't know who the CEO of the rival companies are. They don't know who the CEO of Yamaha or Honda are. Because they're just fans. And are they investors too? Are Harley owners Harley investors? I don't think the overlap is quite the same. The people at this event, not even the content creators, but just the attendees, have spent so much of their lives investing so much of their money in this company. It's cut from a different cloth, man. It's just different. So, I've got some, if you've got partial or entire questions, I've got whole answers. So we're going to jump into the Q&A hole here in a second. First, a quick thank you to my Patreons who get early access, bonus content, and ad-free experience and all that good stuff. Help keep the channel running, get some exclusives, get access to my 11-year tracker at the $10 level and above. It's just really fun and cool. So, yeah, we got 14 minutes to answer questions. Well, there it is, and there you go. If you want to see the full, uncut, 30-ish minute version of this episode, head over to the second channel, link in the description, and subscribe over there if you want to catch these live each Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific, as well as the Fast Charging with B&B podcast, co-hosted with Bear from Bear's Workshop. So, what did I miss or misunderstand? Tell me in the comments, and stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the other side.